Dear students, now I am going to discuss processing of eukaryotic pre-mRNA. So, pre-mRNA are heterogeneous mRNA, or else it is called primary transcript. What you see in this picture, so soon after the transcription, this is called primary transcript. So, this undergoes post-transcriptional processing to become mature mRNA. This is how exactly you buy cloth in the store, then you in the tailor going to stitch according to your requirements. So this is how the primary transcript undergo a processing, and it will become now ready for translation or else mature mRNA. After processing, this mature mRNA can able to transported to the cytoplasm, and then it get translated into the proteins that you can see here. So what are what is this processing? So the eukaryotic pre-mRNA, that is the primary transcript before the processing, it is called pre-mRNA, or else heterogeneous RNA or heterogeneous mRNA, which undergoes extensive processing before it is ready to be translated. This is called post-transcriptional modifications. During this post-transcriptional modifications, so the three main process what you see, there will be a cap going to form at the 5' region of the mRNA. Then there will be a poly A tail going to added at the 3' region of the mRNA. Then there are non-coding sequences get removed from this coding region, only coding region retained. This is called the splicing. So these three events making the mRNA, mature mRNA, so that it can be transported to the cytoplasm to get translated into proteins. So this is what the processing of eukaryotic pre-mRNA involves capping. A 7-methyl guanosine cap is added to the 5' end of the pre-mRNA. So you have studied the mRNA structure in the when I dealt in the video RNA types. In that video you will see. So this same picture, the diagram I have given you. So this is the cap, and this is the poly A tail, and these are the coding region. So this cap is added here in the 5' region of the primary transcript. Then there is a polyadenylation, a poly A tail. So poly A tail means it is a short tail is added at the 3' region, which consists of nucleotides having the base only adenine base. That's why it is called poly A tail. It is about 20 to 200 nucleotides length. Poly A tail is added at the 3' region. So the processing adding of this poly A tail is called polyadenylation. Then the splicing. So you will find here this primary transcript, it has got there are exons and introns, blue color exons, then the saffron color introns. Introns are non-coding regions, those are not required for protein synthesis. Exons are coding sequences, they are required for the protein synthesis. During the process of splicing, all these introns, you will see all these saffron color portions get removed, and rejoining of the portions that contains the exons, so to become this is the coding region. So this process is called splicing. So let us study one by one capping. All eukaryotic mRNA contains a cap structure. So without this cap, they cannot be translated, or they cannot recognize the ribosome. So it is called N7 methylated guanosine cap. So you will able to see here, this is GTP, guanosine triphosphate. So it has methylated guanosine triphosphate. In the 7th position of the nitrogen, there is a a methyl group. That's why it is called N7 methylated guanosine triphosphate cap. This is linked to the first, this is the first nucleotide of the RNA. So, this at the 5 prime region, the first nucleotide of the mRNA, it is added, this cap is added. So, it is a molecular cap, it is not a cap what you are the pen cap, it is a molecular cap is added at the 5 prime region of the mRNA molecule. So, this adding of the cap is catalyzed by an enzyme that is called guanyl transferase. It catalyzes the addition of this this is the guanyl transferase. It is methyl 7-methyl guanosine cap is added with the this catalyzed by this enzyme, and this eukaryotic guanyl transferase are the capping the enzyme that catalyze the formation of 5 prime cap in the messenger RNA. So, this is very important for the translation process, and also it protects the molecule at 5 prime region. So, what are the functions of this capping? You will find a cap at 5 prime region of the mRNA in eukaryotes. It protects the mRNA from degradation of nucleases at 5 prime end. So, because just imagine after the transcription, it has to be transported to the cytoplasm for the translation process. During their transportation, they may be get cleaved at 5 prime region because of the nucleases activity. So, that is protected by this methylated residues. They protect from enzyme actions, so that enhance the translatability of mRNA. So, methyl group facilitate translation. Cap helps to recognize ribosome during translation. So, cap is required for translation. Transport of mRNA out of nucleus binds the nuclear cap binding complex. So, it is also facilitating the transportation, because the mRNA transcribed, it has to transport it to the cytoplasm for translation. It has to pass through the nuclear membrane pore. That time it is cap is important. Capping enhances the efficiency of splicing of mRNA. So, other processing also recruitment of protein factors for splicing process, all these are the mRNA molecule gets spliced efficiently if it is having cap. Eukaryote use cap as an alternative signal for directing translational machinery of mRNA. So, it is a translation start site. Specificity of guanyl transferase, which is making the cap, ensures that caps are added only to the intact transcript, not to the cleaved ones. If the mRNA get cleaved after the transcription, cap cannot be introduced, that is the 5 prime. So, intact mRNA, so it ensures the cap will be properly secure the molecule, and also it is the right transcript that has to be. So, all these functions you will find about the capping. It also acts as an anchor for the recruitment of initiation factor to initiate the protein synthesis. So, these are the uses of the cap. Next, polyadenylation. Polyadenylation, most eukaryotic mRNA and they have a chain of adenosine monophosphate residues. It is about 20 to 200 nucleotide length, 20 to 200 nucleotide length added to the 3 prime of the region. In the 5 prime there is a cap, at a 3 prime there is a poly A tail. So, this is about 20 to 200 nucleotide length tail you will find at the 3 prime region. So, this is added after the transcription. The process is called polyadenylation. It is catalyzed by an enzyme. It is a poly A polymerase or poly A synthetase or poly A polymerase using the energy from ATP. So, this poly A tail consists of multiple adenosine monophosphate, you can see. So, this is this ribonucleotide, it contains only adenine base. So, at a stretch of around 50 nucleotide usually you will find, sometimes it is more than that also. So, it is during this transcription itself, just imagine during the termination of eukaryotic transcription. So, you will see a sequence AAUAA. So, this is the sequence, it will be recognized by the cleavage factors, cleavage stimulation factor. After the cleavage, you will find immediately there is a poly-A polymerase enzyme using ATP. It adds a poly-A tail to this region. So, this nuclease activity cuts the transcript at the downstream. This is what you can see, it is cleaving this here. Then this tail is added by this polymerase. So, what are the advantages of polyadenylation? Poly-A tail adds transcription termination, and this is a sign of adding of poly-A tail. It is a sign of transcription by this, when the poly-A polymerase binds to the transcription bubble, then you can see immediately it is the sign of termination. Poly-A tail at 3' end mRNA protected from the action of exonucleases and cytoplasmic enzyme. So, 5' cap is protecting, 3' exonuclease activity which cleave the mRNA will be protected by this. If it is get cleaved also, you will see this is a long tail. If some little cleaved also, it is not affecting the coding sequence. Coding sequence will be here, right? So then poly-A is added post transcriptionally by poly-A polymerase. So it is enhances the half life or the lifetime of the mRNA, and also it easily get translated. So these are all the advantage of polyadenylation. Then the process called splicing. So the splicing is nothing but the eukaryotic mRNA when synthesized, it is the pre-mRNA, it contains the coding sequence called exons. The intervened with non-coding sequence, they are called introns. So you will find this is the so they have exon, intron, exon, likewise you will find so many exons and intervened with the interon sequence. Intron sequence which contains non-coding sequence which are not required for protein synthesis. Exons are the actual coding sequences which are get translated into amino acid sequence of the protein during translation. So during the processing of mRNA, so these intron sections of the mRNA transcripts are removed and rejoining of the exons. So you will see here, so these introns are removed. So exons are rejoined. So this end of the exon will join with this end, so to form the continuous exon or the continuous coding sequence. So this is what you can see, the process called splicing. Splicing is a two-step reaction which involves it is not a simple reaction, there is a complex going to form. These are called the spliceosomes. These spliceosomes are made out of the RNA, then pre-RNA, then it is you will find there is proteins. So these proteins are called small nuclear ribonucleoproteins, snRNPs. These are all, it is about 80 such small nuclear ribonucleoproteins. So they are called SNPs. So these they are important. They they bring this splicing action or removal of interons. So these are usually they are pronounced as SNPs. So you will find these small nuclear ribonucleoproteins, they recognize, these are the ones, they recognize a consent sequence in the introns. So every interon, if you see at the end, they have GU other end at the 5' region, at the 3' region there is a AG. So these are the consensus sequences or conserved sequences you will find in the eukaryotic interons. So these are the recognition site for these proteins, small nuclear ribonucleoproteins. They recognize these, you can see exon and intron junction have the consensus sequence in the mRNA transcript. So at 5 prime GU, that is what, then interon, then it is ended with the AG. So these consensus sequences of introns are the cleavage site or splice site. They are recognized by these proteins. They are involved in the splicing, or they are forming the spliceosomes. Spliceosome is a complex, is about 40 to 60 nanometer in size. This splicing machinery which contains small nuclear ribonucleoprotein complex. So they are designated as U1, U2, U4, U5, U6. It's a complex reaction. I don't want to make you to get confused. So if you are interested, you can, it is a very interesting process. So in this process, what happens, you can see splicing occurs, the sequence specific mechanism that ensures interons are looped out like this. It is get looped out here, you can see, and in that process these exons come closer and that they get rejoined. So in this way coding sequences will be retained. So the process of splicing. So this, what is the size of these introns? They may range from few hundred base pairs to thousands of base pair length. Such a number. It is the number of introns in the mRNA depends on the complexity of the organism. So very complex organism having many interons. They have to be removed during splicing process, during the pre-mRNA processing. So this introns and exons are the part of the gene. You will see this is the chromosome. So they are the part of the gene. The gene occurs like that. So likewise it is get transcribed or copied in the mRNA. So you will find exons, interons likewise you will find. So introns are intervening sequences and exons are expressed sequence. You will remember like that. Introns, IN for intervening sequence, exons are expressed sequences. Exon parts of the DNA that are converted into mature messenger RNA. So ultimately introns should be removed and exons going to form the they are going to be translated into the protein during translation process. So this is what you can see here. So the splicing process you can see. So it is a small nuclear ribonucleoprotein. They will recognize this GU and AG sequence that form the end of this intron. So immediately they bind and that the intron get looped out and exons they come closer and they get rejoined in this process. So this what are the significances of this processing of eukaryotic pre-mRNA? So here also this same thing you can see. So GU, AG, this is the interon. So you can see how exactly the small nuclear ribonucleoprotein complex, they are U1 and U2 recognize this, they bind and recruit other proteins and they get, so the introns get looped out, exons get rejoined. This is a process, the diagrammatic representation. So what are the significances of this processing of eukaryotic pre-mRNA? So these additional steps involved in eukaryotic mRNA that create a molecule which lasts longer half-life when compared to the prokaryotic mRNA. It lasts about only 5 seconds. So it can live for about hours or days. So this mRNA. RNA processing important for the post-transcriptional regulation of gene expression. So it is important for gene expression in eukaryotes. Then majority of RNA processing occurs simultaneously with the transcription. Several processes shape the nascent messenger RNA or pre-mRNA molecule by capping, polyadenylation and splicing. So all these processes stabilize the molecule. mRNA will be having they are more stable now. So, the 5 cap at the poly A tail protect the mRNA transcript by the attack of enzymes cytoplasm called exonucleases that significantly target RNA molecules. So, you will find here, so this is the RNA transcript. So, there are endonucleases, they cut in the phosphodiester bond, they are in the middle of the molecule, and these are the one exonuclease, they usually chop out the one by one the nucleotides from the ends. So, these actions will be prevented by the capping and polyadenylation. Ultimately, this the mature mRNA, it is having all the structure you have studied, a cap 7-methyl guanosine cap at the 5' region, then at 3' region a poly A tail, and this is the coding sequence, actual coding sequence. It starts with AUG initiator codon and end with the stop codon. These are gets translated during protein synthesis. So, this is about the processing of mRNA. You will see in this cartoon how exactly this mRNA having a cap, so that so this is a exonuclease, it is so miserable, it cannot catch this chop this region of this mRNA, so that it can able to through this nuclear pore complex nuclear membrane, it can transport it to the cytoplasm for the translation process. Should enjoy such cartoons. So, this is about eukaryotic processing of mRNA. This is a very important 5 marks question during your examination. Thank you.